100,000 years ago.
Bohol, Leyte, Samar, and Mindanao were all connected. And so the animals were able to migrate over land bridges. Then when the sea rose again, these islands were cut off, so that now they're separate islands.
This history has resulted in Bohol, Leyte, Samar, and Mindanao sharing very similar plants and animals. These islands together make up the Mindanao faunal region, which is just one of several faunal regions in the Philippines. Because the islands within each faunal region were once connected, they share many of the same plants and animals today.
Ang nangyari kasi ay may kanya-kanya siyang mga unique set of amphibians or reptiles na hindi makikita sa ibang regions. So, well, basically, ano rin naman siya, sa ibang animals rin, ganun rin eh. For rodents, for birds, for bats, ganun rin.
Meet the Visayan leopard cat. It spends some of its time in trees. It preys on rodents and other small vertebrates. This graceful cat has only ever been restricted to the islands of Panay, Negros, and Cebu, all of which lie in the Negros-Panay faunal region. It's part of the distinct assemblage of fauna of these islands. To the east lies the Mindanao faunal region. It's home to the flying lemur, a small nocturnal mammal which also spends a lot of time in trees and gliding between them. The flying lemur is naturally found on the islands of the Mindanao faunal region. It is not found in Luzon, which is just 25 kilometers from Samar. In fact, the mammals that inhabit these two places are as different from each other as the mammal faunas of Chicago and Moscow. Isolation of the faunal regions from each other is one reason for such differences, and isolation of the thousands of Philippine islands from each other is an important reason why the country is so biologically unique.
So if you look at the overall biodiversity, the Philippines is really blessed. I mean, just because you have so many islands with so many different habitats.
A tropical climate, a complex geological history, a profusion of islands, and a diversity of habitats. These ingredients have mixed in the Philippines to yield one of the largest and most unique collections of plants and animals on the planet. Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Madagascar. These are some other places around the world with unusually rich biodiversity. In one regard, the Philippines outranks them all.
Kung atong tanahon, ang Philippines usa siya sa hottest of hotspots among all countries. So in terms of critically endangered or endangered nga category, kita mo rank nga first among all other countries nga taas og biodiversity.
Hotspot is, well, it's defined as in any region on the world where there is high concentration of threatened biodiversity. Unfortunately, ang Pilipinas is sa mga top yan eh, kasi nga marami tayong diversity na threatened naman.
A threatened species is one that's at some risk of extinction. Its populations might be vulnerable, endangered, or critically endangered. Those at most risk are critically endangered.
If you say it is a critically endangered species, it means that the species has a very high chance of getting extinct within the coming 25 years, if nothing is done about it.
The Philippine crocodile is one uniquely Philippine species that's currently up against these odds.
The Philippine crocodile is an endemic species. It occurs only in the Philippines. The Philippine crocodile is also a critically endangered species. In fact, it is the most threatened crocodile species in the world.
But just how many Philippine crocodiles are left? Well, scientists' last nationwide estimate was less than 100. The only breeding population of this very rare croc now lives in San Mariano in Isabela province.
In San Mariano, there are still crocodiles occurring in the wild. That is something very special. It is currently the only known Philippine crocodile population in the world. However, this population is critically small. We have only 7 adult crocodiles in San Mariano.
With just 7 individuals currently contributing to future populations of the Philippine crocodile, only time will tell this species' fate. Another uniquely Philippine species whose survival is in question is the Philippine cockatoo.
Actually, pag sinabing cockatoo or Philippine cockatoo, ito yung katala. Ano? Ang tawag dito, iba-iba yung tawag sa kanya. Meron siyang abukay sa Bisaya and then kalangay sa Tagalog. Or usually, ang pinakatawag dito na common is abukay. Ang isang pinaka-identity sa kanya is white. And then also pikoy siya o parrot species, and then mayroon siyang red and yellow band sa tail. At maingay siya. Ito yung isang identity niya na kung nandiyan siya sa isang area, talagang umiingay siya kaagad. Elevated sila parate. Gusto nila mag-grow sa mataas na place, sa mga matataas na kahoy. And then if may mga pagkain doon sa baba or sa mga bunga ng kahoy, doon na rin sila mismo nanginginain. So ito yung kaugalian ng katala na makikita natin. Usually, ang pinaka-habitat nila is lowland na mayroong gubat o mayroong pa ilang kahoy, din coconut plantation at saka mangroves.
Once found all over the country, the Philippine cockatoo is now critically endangered and restricted to a few isolated populations. In one of these, on the Polillo Islands, there's estimated to be just 13 cockatoos left. The black shama is another threatened Philippine bird. It's endemic to Cebu Island, which has already lost 21 of its original 79 bird species.
The black shama thrives in the forest. And in the forest, we also observe that the black shama prefers valley bottom forest than ridgetop forest. And as we also found out that the black shama prefers dark understory, and it is highly territorial during breeding season.
Despite the black shama's secretive habits, a survey determined the size of its remaining populations in 2003. They are perilously small, and Cebuana biologists hope the black shama will not make Cebu's 22nd locally extinct bird. Mammals are also well represented on the list of threatened Philippine species. The Visayan spotted deer is one of them. This small, distinctively marked deer is a social animal, usually living in small groups in forested areas. It is a non-fussy herbivore, but prefers to nibble tender plants close to the ground. Once found across all of the larger islands in the Negros Panay faunal region, the Visayan spotted deer is now endangered and restricted to 4 remaining forest patches on the islands of Panay and Negros. Another forest-dwelling and now critically endangered Philippine mammal is the Visayan warty pig. In the past, this species roamed all of the major Visayan islands, but now, like the spotted deer, it is also confined to small habitat fragments on Negros and Panay. Similar troubles are faced by a number of Philippine bat species, including the golden-crowned flying fox.
The very unique feature of the golden crown is, of course, the color pattern in its forehead. It's a diamond-shaped, white or golden-colored hairs on its forehead down to their napes. This diamond shape sometimes deflects sunlight and will in turn looks like a dried leaf when you look at it on top of the tree, so that the predators cannot distinguish them as flying fox or bats, so the predators can never eat them.
Despite their clever camouflage, golden-crowned flying foxes have not escaped danger. Their populations used to darken the sky when they left their roosting places to forage. Now,